What's good, guys? Back today, another recap, and just an eval day for me, so nothing crazy. Not gonna spend too much time going over my trade. It was just an eval trade. I kind of just go with the flow on those and hope for the best. I mean, obviously, I do wait for my strategy to present itself, but I'm willing to take trades just kind of off intuition as well, because you don't need as many points or confluences when you're basically full porting every trade, right? So I'm not going to really go over that too much. I will, but not crazy in depth. I wanted to go over another trade I saw today that I really liked and kind of just give a full recap on the market today. But yeah, we can get into that. I did make the $4,500, so that's half this account, and all the other ones didn't have much left. Blew those yesterday, so that kind of sucked. So I'm down just to this one account. Hopefully I get it passed and we can get rolling again, and then start adding one more at a time, because getting three at once was not a good idea because it adds up. Shit's expensive when you're buying these 150K accounts, especially with their new prices. So I'll be doing one at a time from now on. And yeah, so today we did have news at 7, so 30 minutes after market open. I was originally going to wait for that because I figured we would get a little bit of a dump off of that, and then we would continue higher, because as you can see, coming into market opens here. We had already taken out every single high. We were pushing all-time highs pre-market, which is not exactly ideal, to say the least. And we left these three lows, but we were quite far from them come market open. We were about 150 points from London low. That's not realistically going to happen. And we had an hourly gap in between, and we had inversed this bearish hourly gap pretty strongly. And the 4 hour, we also had a gap. I mean, this candle would have closed at 7, but it was pretty obvious we were going to make a 4 hour gap as well. So chances of us even hitting this low, even if we got to move down, were pretty slim. If you guys are trading all-time highs, you should not be taking shorts. There's no reason to take a short today. This was either a long or a no trade day. When we're already pushing all-time highs, and I want you guys to notice this right here. Let's go on the 1 minute probably to see it. Right here, we hit 28,000, right? So that is a very manipulative number, right? So the markets like round numbers like that. I mean, that goes for every kind of market. Crypto, futures, stocks. Round numbers, you'll always get a bit of a sell-off, because I guess that's what people target when we're at all-time highs, because there's nothing else to target, I guess. I don't know. There might be more to it, but just what I've noticed from trading for a long time. And as you can see, as soon as we hit that 28,000, we do get a little bit of a pullback down right before market open. Again, no reason to short. We were still trading within a 15-minute gap, and we had no sign of breaking that coming into market open. I would not have taken a short there personally, but the trade I did take was pretty simple. We swept out this doji here, and we got these two highs to target, and we did get a 3-minute gap here, 2-minute gap right before market open. I can't show you guys, but I could show you on this. Market opens right here. You can see we have a 2-minute gap here that we tap back into as we swept that low. The only thing I didn't like about this is we didn't actually take out this 15-minute low. We kind of left it there, but that's okay in my opinion. I was fine with this. Like I said, this was an eval trade. If I was trading this on a live, I would have definitely waited for a little bit more of a confluence, but Evals, I don't care as much. I ended up getting in right on this candle here. This wicked up and took out these highs. We got the move back down, which wicked this low, and then we got a very strong push up. We also, I believe, had a 30-second inversion right here on this candle. I don't know. Like I said, guys, it was an eval trade. I don't really want to go over it too much, but it did play out perfectly right as the market opened. Got in 3 minutes after open and hit TP right there. Probably a little bit lower actually, but it was on that candle. And super easy trade. Stops are below that gap. $3,000 risk. $4,500 reward. Super easy. 1 to 1.5. And that was my trade for the day. The best trade of the day, the only trade I actually really liked, was like I told you guys when we got all this news. I mean, this is basically 4 red folder news today at 7, which ended up being right here, right? So we get this news candle, we get a data low here, and we do come down and we sweep the data low as we are tapping into a 15-minute gap. I really actually did like this trade. There was a little bit of an issue with it, but it was nothing to do with the actual trade. I'll show you guys. I'm sure you guys can see it. But we sweep the data low. We get a 1 and a 2-minute inversion. You can see we barely get a 1-minute inversion there. On the 2-minute, you can see right here we also get a 2-minute inversion, which is going to be your highest time frame inversion of this trade. The only thing I didn't like about this trade is, as you can see, we didn't get a very strong push above it. We only closed above it by about half a point. If you guys are going to take an IFVG like this, especially when we're at all-time highs, and realistically we could have easily dumped and grabbed more liquidity, you're going to want to wait till this closes at least 3 to 5 points above. This first entry here, I'm not going to lie, I probably would have taken it, but the best entry was on this candle here after we get this actual very nice move up. That would have been the best entry of the day in my opinion, and you could easily target a 1-to-1, but it did end up running way higher. You could all target all the, let's just say you hit all the way up here and your stops are below this fair value gap, you're hitting an easy 1 to 5, give or take. And that was the best trade of the day. There's a chance you went break even here, but overall there was no sign of losing on that trade, and you could easily have grabbed a 1-to-1 or almost even a 1-to-2 basically right off this first move here. A 1-to-1 is right there, and it ran a lot more than that. So that was a really good trade today. If you guys took that, good job. I know a lot of ICT traders definitely entered off this candle, and unfortunately if you had your stop at the body of this candle here, you would have got stopped out and then would have ran right to TP. You would have had your stops at this wick, which barely got missed. And me personally, I would have had my stops a little bit lower than the wick. That's usually what I tend to do, and targeted a 1-to-1 like that, which would have hit right there. But that kind of sucked. That was a incredibly bad stop hunt, and you can see that was at 718. Check 718. There was no tweets, nothing. So that was just a market stop hunt. Very weird. We had every reason to go back up here, and we didn't. We dumped randomly 54 points on a 1-minute candle, which is crazy. I know a lot of people got wrecked on that, unfortunately, but just kind of how it goes in these market conditions. You got to have a little bit of a wider stop, risk less, and kind of expect the worst, right? So I know that's stuff like that's been happening to me a lot, but yeah, I believe there also was an SMT with ES here, and I saw some people saying about, where is it? So I saw some people saying the reason that move down happened was because ES failed to close above this fair value gap on that candle. Or sorry, it wasn't. It was right here. Sorry. ES failed to close above this fair value gap on this candle. So technically we got the move down respecting this on ES, and then that's when we made the move up and actually got the IFVG at 724 on ES. You can see the NASDAQ was already a lot higher at 724. We were all the way up here. So, and we had inversed this a long time ago, almost 7 minutes before we had inversed it. So ES was lagging a little bit behind, which I'm not really too familiar with SMTs, but I'm pretty sure it's some sort of SMT. I heard some people say that, and that is kind of why we got this. That's the only way I can really explain it. There wasn't a tweet or anything that I saw. So yeah, other than that, that was a really good trade today. You just had to have a good stop and you were chilling. But other than that, not much going on in the markets. And you can see the 4-hour chart is just fucked now. There hasn't been a red candle in like 6 candles. So a whole day we haven't had a red candle on the 4-hour, which kind of blows. But it does leave room to retrace back into this potentially, with lows resting down here for this gap. I do believe we will cool off a little bit. This has been an insane move over the past day, or past 24 hours. 517 points. So we are due to cool off a little bit, but you always got to be careful shorting all-time highs. You don't want to get caught like today taking a short and then we run even higher, right? Because we're in price discovery. If you're going to take a short, you want to wait till we build some bearish structure and potentially inverse a higher time frame gap, whether it's on the hourly or the 4-hour. You want to wait till we get some higher time frame confluences before you end up taking a short. But yeah, news the rest of this week. Tomorrow pretty much nothing, and Thursday pretty much nothing. So we'll see if we get a little bit of a cool off, and then we'll probably pump like crazy with non-farm on Friday. So I'm hoping I get this account passed tomorrow and we can start trading properly again and start making some money, because these accounts aren't cheap. I already spent like 1,200 Canadian on the 4 accounts I bought, which is a lot more expensive than 50k accounts. Could have got like 3 times that. I could have had 12 accounts basically if I was getting the 50k ones, which does make sense because they're 3 times the amount of money, like, or account size, I guess you should say. So it does make sense, but they do add up. So hopefully I can get a payout and then start running up. I want to get 550k accounts and start running up some fat payouts. So yeah, it's gonna wrap it up for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.